This video will demonstrate how to rebuild the Gravitee database. The gravitee.mv.db file is a crucial component of the Gravitee database system, and any issues with this file can lead to disruptions in your API management services. Whether you're experiencing database corruption, performance degradation, or have made significant configuration changes, this video aims to help you rebuild the Gravitee database and restore normal functionality. You will need to have access to the server hosting your gateway in order to perform the steps that I am about to outline. So once you log into the hosting server, you will want to navigate to the gateway installation directory. And then within that directory, go into the bin folder. I have already done that here on the screen on my right. The first step that we're going to do is we are going to stop all of the nodes in the gateway cluster. I am working on my production gateway, which only has one node in the cluster. So I will go ahead and stop that node by issuing the .atom stop command from the hosting server. I have the UI pulled up here, which just allows me to monitor and confirm that the gateway is now offline. From here, all of the next steps will be performed on the hosting server. We're going to navigate one folder back out of the bin directory, do a list, and we will go into the API gateway folder that's in that gateway installation directory. From here, we will go into the H2 folder, and this is where we will find potentially 3 different files. It is the gravitee3.mv.db file, the gravitee.mv.db file, and the .trace files. If you do not see all 3 files in this location, that is normal, and you are free to continue proceeding with the steps that I am about to outline. What I will do here is make a copy of this file, either to a local location or an alternative folder on the hosting server. I've already created a folder on the hosting server in the temp directory where I will copy this file, so I will go ahead and do that. Okay. Now that I've copied the file, I am going to remove this file. File is now gone. The next step is to navigate out of this H2 folder and back into the installation directory where we will go into the folder named message. Here, you'll potentially see some .sync files. I do not have any .sync files in this message folder, which is completely normal. If you do have .sync files in this folder, what you will need to do, again, is make a backup of that file or those files to an alternative location. And then once you've made a backup of them, you can proceed with removing them. Okay. Now that I've verified I don't have any of those files, I'm going to go back to the installation directory, back into bin. And this is where I will now proceed to restart my gateway. What this will do is bring the gateway back online and rebuild any files that we've just deleted. Again, I have my UI up to verify that the node comes online successfully. Alternatively, you can issue a .atom status from the hosting server. This may take a minute or 2 for the node to come back online. Okay. Now we can see that my node is back online in my gateway. The next step will be for us to perform a gateway migration. Okay, this can be done in the UI by going to configure servers, gateways, and here you will see environment migration. We will select that. We will hit create new migration. The environment that we are moving is the prod gateway that's attached to my prod atom. You'll hit create migration. And where do we want to move the environment? We want to move the prod atom off of its API gateway. All right, we will save and continue. All of the next screens will contain generic information that should not need to change. So for purposes of this video, I will be hitting save and continue on the next screens up until I get to the final screen confirming that I want to proceed with the migration. Here we are at the summary screen, just confirming that I want to proceed with migrating this environment off, which I do. So I will hit migrate. And if you go to your gateway screen, you will now see that that gateway is no longer attached to an environment. So the last thing that we will do is now reattach that gateway to an environment. So I'm going to hit my prod atom where I want to put my prod gateway. I want to attach my prod gateway. Save and continue. Again, the next screens contain generic information that should not need to change. So for purposes of this video, I will be hitting save and continue until I get to the final screen confirming that I want to migrate this environment back onto this gateway, which I do. Continue, close. And now when you hit gateways and environments, you can see that the gateway is now attached to my production environment successfully. And when we hit on the prod gateway, we can see that it's online and all is well. In conclusion, rebuilding the Gravitee 3.mv.db file is a straightforward process that can help resolve various database-related issues. By following the steps that I just displayed in this video, you can ensure that your Gravitee database is rebuilt safely and effectively, allowing your API management services to resume normal operations. If you encounter any issues during the rebuild process, consider reaching out to Boomi Support for further assistance.